To measure edge angle in a single bevel blade, place reflection from its flat side at the 0 mark on the scale and then reach laser reflection from the bevel side. See how I do it. Place reflection, that's the farthest red dot on the scale at the moment, the farthest. Place reflection from the flat side at the 0 mark and then reach reflection on the bevel side. This knife edge is near 19 degrees. Always start sharpening a single bevel knife by polishing its flat side. We only need to polish a small portion of the blade adjacent to the edge. The advantage of using our frontal vertical base and the fine Japanese stone over conventional bench stones is that it allows you to polish only a strip of blade next to the edge, and unlike with the bench stone, the knife does not need to have urasuki for that. We sharpen this way all single bevel knives, not only the Japanese. Хорошо. The machine we'll be using for grinding the bevel is Tormek 8. CBN wheels diameter is 250 millimeters. Let's measure the jig protrusion. Jig protrusion is 140 millimeters. And the edge angle that we measured in the beginning is 19 degrees. Press calculate. Set this value on your calipers. One 176 point. Now set the universal support height to the calculated value. Place your deep probe perpendicular to the top of your Tormek and parallel with the leg. Yep. Then fastening the screws, always place on this leg, because the flat of the micro adjust is your reference point. This way we set grinding angle at 19 degrees. We grind the bevel on a second Tormek, but of course everything can be done on a single machine, just takes longer. Depending how dull your knife is, grind either on CBN wheel grit 160 or grit 400. Grind till you get the burr on the flat side. I feel the burr. Return to the frontal vertical base and your Japanese stone and do a single pass. Usually single pass removes the burr. Continue grinding the bevel side on a CBN wheel 1000. Our CBN wheels have the same diameter, so the setup remains the same. Just change the wheels. Typically, all you need is a single pass on the fine CBN wheel. This removes grinding marks from the coarse wheel. Can you bring the focus on the bevel? And on the flat side you can feel a tiny, tiny burr. Next step is to set honing angle on the Tormek leather wheel. For that I close the grinding angle setter for Tormek and launch the frontal vertical base applet. Our machine is Tormek 8. The honing leather wheel diameter is 215. The jig protrusion or jig length is 140, and as you remember, the edge angle is 19. The calculated value can be rounded to 80, and we set this value on your calipers. And now set your frontal vertical base to this value. Always use the same setting point. The point I use, if you can show from this side, is across this upper screw. Like that, let me fix it for you. The depth probe must be parallel to the leg. Fix the position with the black screws. This way we have set the honing angle on the leather wheel at 19 degrees at our bevel edge angle. Honing on the leather wheel is done by 2 to 4 passes. Let's see what we've got here. Make one last pass on the back side to the burr. Almost done. Through this sharpening we have been deburring, edge trailing with the rotation of the wheel. Those of you who have read my knife deburring book know with certainty that in this case the edge has some remnants of micro burr and maybe even a wire edge. Let's test sharpness on the cigarette paper. The cigarette paper test on tally ho or Rizla green rolling paper, holding the cigarette paper vertically, becomes possible at 110 bes. Now we take the measurement of the edge sharpness on the best sharpness tester, and if the reading of the tester is over 110 bes, it means that the edge has the wire edge, the weak wire edge. Do you see this reading? As you remember, the dull knife scores 500 bes, and now we have over 800 bes, which definitely tells us that this edge has a wire edge, the weak wire edge that crashes, mushrooms against the test line, and that's why we have this giant number. Stroking on the kangaroo tail hanging strop helps us to remove the wire edge and improve edge retention. Let's drop and measure sharpness again. Ten alternating passes, typically all needed. The kangaroo tail is different from the rest of the kangaroo skin. Not sure if you can capture the texture of this drop, but unlike the other skin of the kangaroo, the tail has cross texture, and the older is the animal, the wider is the strop, the deeper is this texture. And it is this texture that provides for efficacy of the scanning strop. You know that 50 Bes is what disposable shaving razors, like Gillette, usually score. Now our edge is very close to that. It is razor sharp. Well, what can I say? Never neglect finishing the edge. Never neglect removing the wire edge. We can recognize the presence of wire edge by its behavior in cutting. And obviously, a seemingly ultra-sharp edge that may even whittle hair will dull very soon.